welcome to the Reboot Wellness Digital Experience. Good to see you guys. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Lauren. I'm Tony Twyman, certified health coach. I create and organize wellness teams for retreats and online digital content. We were going to be on a cruise right now, but then a pandemic came, and here we are doing this thing from our living rooms. So I'm happy to be here. Nonetheless, we could be on our way to the Bahamas, but we're happy to be here because we are where we're supposed to be. Let's just start with that. Lauren, how about you? How are you today?
Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren Rice, and I'm founder of Bloom Mind Body and Tony's co-host. I'm a nutritional therapist and a mindfulness teacher, and I am so excited to be here with all of you today digitally and to welcome our next guest, Gigi Diaz. She is just a brilliant force of nature, a gorgeous mindset coach for women entrepreneurs, and an iHeartRadio personality. So she'll be talking to us tonight about how to take back the reins of our life and reset, relax, and restore. So hi, Gigi, and welcome.
Hi, how are you guys doing? I'm so excited to be joining you today. Definitely being in the mindset of being on the cruise and just imagining it is definitely a mood booster for me. But I agree with you that we're in the right place. So I
Yeah,
feel like as long as we still get to connect in this way and we still get to serve in this way, it's a ton of fun and we can always jump on a cruise next year or as soon as we can. Maybe later this year, who knows?
we'll see how it goes. So let's talk. We met last year and we discussed a couple of opportunities to work together. And then all of a sudden, I hit you right when you were thinking about me. And I told you about the digital wellness cruise that we were going to do. We are going to pretend that we're on a ship, but hang out in our living rooms. And you were all about it. Tell us why you wanted to be with us today. And I'm just thrilled to have you. But just, tell us about that connection.
Well, listen, I feel like when things just fall perfectly into place, it's a sign that I have to be on board, right? And in our case, it was exactly like that. We had kind of been introduced some way here, the other way, and I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I know I gotta hit up Tony. We have to talk. And we had like this pending conversation. And right as I'm thinking that, you hit me up and I'm like, you're not gonna believe this. I was literally just thinking about you. And those kinds of synchronicities are, to me, the signs of this is happening. It has to happen. It's already done. And so it was just really nice when you gave me the honor of being able to join you on this cruise, even if it's from our living room, because I feel like the opportunity to serve is always the same, right? So it doesn't matter if you are in your living room, if you're in the line of public, or if you're in a beautiful cruise surrounded by the majestic ocean, if you can connect with people that have a good vibe, a good energy, and wonderful intentions, that's the place where I want to be. Whether it is connecting virtually like this or it's in person, doesn't matter. I have to be like, what you guys do is to me so amazing and it has so much value and it's creating such a beautiful impact in the community, right? And in the people that you reach, because in these platforms, we're reaching people internationally, right? And so for me, it's an honor to be able to share in that value and to be able to participate in something that's bringing so much greatness, especially after the craziness that we've lived in 2020. I feel like we need this. We need to have these conversations for sure. So I'm so glad to be here.
Absolutely. Lauren, you have any questions, comments for Gigi before we get into it?
No, Gigi, I'm
Good
just
to
so
go.
excited to hear about your story and what you have to teach us tonight.
Absolutely. So what I wanted to talk about today is actually pertaining directly to the craziness of 2020. And it's funny, speaking of synchronicities, because I wasn't going to launch this program or this concept until way later in the year. This was planned like at the end of last year. And I've been doing so many consultations this year. I've been offering free coaching for anyone who needs it. And I've realized how much people need to be able to connect. People feel stuck. People feel like they've lost the reins of their life, right? Like we had all these incredible plans for 2020, new decade, right? We were going to take on the world.
New decade, new you. I remember it well.
Yes, absolutely. And then the universe said, I have other plans. We're going to teach you a whole new set of skills that you were not ready for. And that was fine, right? But now coming out of that, we have another year, right? We have this new year. And you can't have a new year, new me without a new system, right? You can't go into a new year and think you're going to become a new version of yourself unless you apply a new system to work through, right? Because otherwise, if you keep applying, if you keep doing the same things that you've been doing, you're going to be getting the same results, right? So you can't get to where you're going by doing what has brought you to where you are. You got to do something different, right? And so after having all these calls with different, people, I realized I'm like, I need to do this now, right? Like I need to share this information now because I feel like it'll really serve people to get unstuck. And so that's when I decided that the 3R system had to come to be way earlier. And so part of what the system entails is what I want to chit chat about today. So if we can share the screen and we're going to get started, because I know that we have a lot more going on after this and I don't want to take up too much time, but okay, so it looks like it's working. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So this is my presentation for the 3R system, which is my method to take back control of your life, right? And to live a life of less stress and more joy, because we often get caught up on that hamster wheel of everything you have to do, and you're not just being, you're not just living. And so to get started with this exercise, I want everybody who's watching right now to think of the 5 most important things or people in your life that depend on you. So if you've got a notebook, you're taking notes, which most of the time people have got, little things to scribble on when we're doing these things. I want you to list those 5 most important things or people in your life that depend on you. All right. So once you've got that, now here's my question. Did you list yourself? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. And people list their children, people list their families, like their husbands, mom, dad, grandparents. They list their business, they list their dogs, their cats, right? Their pets depend on them. But the truth is that none of those things would be okay if you weren't on that list of most important things. And at some point in my life, think about it. I was so caught up, just like most of us, in what your day is like, right? So you've got the checklist of things that you have to do. You've got all the busyness of being a mom. You've got the stress of keeping your job in one place. You've got social media accounts to manage, whether you're doing it for business or you're doing it for personal. Then you've got to do the home thing, right? You got to feed yourself. You got to feed the kids. You got to stay alive. You got to keep the roof over your head. You're so caught up and burnt out in the to-do, in the to-live, right? In the day-to-day, that you're overwhelmed and you forget that you need to put yourself first. And that was me too, at one point. I've always been super ambitious. I've always wanted to take on the world, right? And so when I want to say this was like in my early to mid 20s, right? I was working radios in the morning because I have a radio career in communications. And I was doing the morning show, which means I have to be at work at around 4:30, right? In the morning. I was also working in television as a sports reporter for harness racing. And those races started at 7 p.m. and they went on till about 11 something. And in the middays, I was working as a freelancer while still running my first business called Gigi's Academy, which is a dance studio that I opened back in 2003 that's still open today. And right at that moment, it was like in the middle of a lot of growth, right? So I decided, because I'm that person that can do it all, right? Just like most people that are watching right now, like I can do it. I got this, right? I'm a badass. I can take on the world. I decided that would be the perfect time to go for my master's degree. And I did.
Wow.
And what happened? Yeah, that was fun. So in my exhaustion, there was one night when I lost my vision from exhaustion driving home. I literally could not see. And I realized in that moment, I was like, wait, something is really wrong. And I started putting 2 and 2 together. And a couple months before that, I had started losing my hair. I had horrible breakouts all over my skin. I didn't think much of it, right? Like I had things to do. I was busy. I was taking on the world. I had my career. I had my business. I had my clients. Everything was great. I thought I was super happy. And so in that burnout, I realized as I drove myself to that urgent care, right, very carefully, and realizing that I could not do anything. My degrees weren't going to help me. My TV shows wasn't going to help me. My clients weren't going to help me. My business couldn't do anything for me. And essentially, what the doctor told me was, you're exhausted. Your body is giving up. You cannot handle this like this anymore. You need to sleep. You need to eat a proper meal. You cannot live on protein bars and energy drinks, because that's just not the way that your body's going to respond well. You're not healthy right now. And that made me realize that I was going about my life trying to reach the definition of success that everybody else had given me, right? I was in that mindset of success because when I was younger, as an immigrant child, my mom was like, you got to go to school. You have to get a degree. So I did that the first time. I wanted to open my business because I have an entrepreneurial gene. My whole family is entrepreneurs, and that wasn't crazy when I told my mom at 17 I wanted to open my own business. So I did that. But the degree was a non-negotiable. So I was in college while I was doing my business. And I've always been taking on multiple things, just like I'm sure so many people that are watching right now. I'm sure we have moms that are doing 9-to-5s and have side hustles, right? I'm sure that we have maybe even single dads that are doing 9-to-5 and have a side hustle, right? Like we have all these hats that we wear. But if you are chasing that definition of success that is not yours, you get caught up in the hamster wheel. And no matter how much success you have, no matter how many things there are under your belt, no matter how many incredible accomplishments you can list under your name, none of it matters if your health is not on point. If you are not well, you are nothing, right? And none of your accomplishments are going to count for anything. So I have 3 secrets that are going to help everyone today. And that is, the first secret is to put yourself first. And so I know what they're thinking in the audience, what you are thinking in the audience right now is, how am I going to possibly put myself first? I have an incredibly long to-do list, right? There isn't enough time for me to set aside time for myself. I don't have enough help, right? Like I'm the one that needs to do everything in the house. A lot of moms that I work with, because I work almost exclusively with women, they feel guilty. They feel guilty for setting time aside for themselves, in that time from their business, from their husbands, from their families, from their children. And that guilt really is consuming for them, and they don't take the time to put themselves first. But the reality is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. There is nothing you can do for those 5 people and things that you listed at the beginning of our chat that mean the world to you and that depend on you if you're pouring from an empty cup. If you're exhausted and depleted, you cannot, by any means, be the best version of a mother. If you're exhausted and depleted, you cannot lead your team and your business in the best way possible. If you are exhausted and depleted, you cannot be the best version of the wife that you want to give to your partner, right? Or vice versa. Gentlemen, if you are depleted, you cannot stand up for your family in the same way, for your business or for your family. So secret number 1 is, above all things, to put yourself first. Is only so that you can replenish yourself, nurture yourself, refill that cup so that you can pour into the people that matter most. So what are some ways that you can do that? Choose moments in the day to be in the moment, right? Something as simple as put your hands on the desk where you're sitting right now to watch this, or if you're holding your phone, really feel the desk, right? Really be in the moment. Use all of your senses. Take a deep breath and feel your lungs expanding in that moment, and focus only on your body and how it feels. Feel the chair that you're on and how it's supporting the weight of your body. What can you smell? Is the air hitting your skin from the AC vents? Be in that moment and really connect with yourself in that moment. Over 70% of our day is spent worrying or planning. We're looking forward to something, or looking back on something that we're beating ourselves up about. Be here right now, okay? Second tip, you gotta connect with yourself. You have to give yourself the time and ask yourself, what do I need today? How can I serve my future self today? Some days that might be a nap, and that's okay. Take a nap. Some days that might be a walk in nature. Some days that might be taking on that task that's going to get you one step closer to that really big goal that you want to achieve. Whatever it is that day that's going to serve your future self, that's going to give you zen and peace and quiet of your mind to connect with yourself and to nurture yourself, do that. And I promise you, anytime that you ask yourself, what do I need today? And you just hold in silence, you will get an answer. And then the next suggestion is create a space, right? It's easy to not be able to do these two things of being in the moment and connecting with yourself if you don't create a space for it, right? So if you're a planner, you know that you have to work from this time to this time. You know that the kids need their homework from this time to this time. You know that you're going to cook at this time. You're going to try and squeeze a shower in there some days. You got to make sure that on that planner, you create a space in your schedule for you. It could be as little as a good 5 minutes where you're going to be undisturbed, just 5 minutes for some meditation tips like Lauren has given you before, just 5 minutes to take a deep breath. And maybe it could be 15 to 20 minutes where you're going to read a couple of pages of a book that's going to make you feel good. Maybe it's a 30 or 45-minute walk with your pup if you have one. All of these things, as long as they are scheduled in your day so that you cannot use the excuse of, I'm too busy, there's too much going on. Yeah? So, secret number 2. Your business success is not going to bring you the happiness that you seek, right? We're on this hamster wheel trying to accomplish all of the things. You want the degree, you want the 6 or 7 figure business, you want the new car, you want the gadget, the phone, whatever it is you want. You deserve all those things. I'm not saying to, get rid of all of your material things and go be a bum on the beach. I'm not saying that. I love gadgets too, right? I love the fancy cars. I love all the stuff, but that's not what's going to give you happiness, right? That's not what's going to make you feel fulfilled inside. Your business success is just not going to give you the happiness that you seek, because that happiness is what comes from within. So if you get off the achievement treadmill, right, of one goal after the next, got to do the next, and you try to understand this one key simple practice, this is where you're going to live in fulfillment and where you're going to have that inner happiness. Tap into your inner happiness, strength, and empowerment, and you will feel that joy even when things are not going well, right? Even when it's difficult, when you miss a step to get to that next big goal, you're going to have an inner peace and an inner joy, because you're going to be seeking your happiness in that state of being, not in the state of getting, right? Does that make sense? Yes. Good so far? Those that are watching on Facebook, let me get some hearts so I can see that you're in. If you're watching on YouTube.
You got one of those comments earlier. You are speaking the truth.
Yes. Let's share. We are open to questions, right? So that's going to be our secret number 2 today. And that is to live in gratitude. So instead of spending the time thinking about the next gadget that you're going to get, and don't mind my little dog, she's being crazy right now. Instead of spending all the time thinking of the next gadget that you need to have or the next really big accomplishment that you want to achieve, dedicate some time to elevating and creating the tasks that you need to do to get to those goals, but also take the moment to live in gratitude for the wonderful things that you already have, the things that we take for granted each and every day, like a roof over our heads, like the ability to even sit and watch a presentation like this, like the connectivity that you have despite being in quarantine right now, to still be able to talk to your family, to still connect with the people that you love, right? Like the hug of your family members who are around, who live with you. These are small things that really are the most important, right? They're the things that we take for granted each day. And in practicing this secret number 2, it's going to get you really deeply rooted in the greatness of your life that you already have. And it's going to make all those other things, they're still important, but it's going to make them not the reason for your happiness, but rather little cherries on top of an already perfect sundae. So how can we live in gratitude, right? There is a direct connection between where your attention is focused and how you feel, okay? So I'm going to give you a perfect example. Let's say that you have, in your room right now, you've got, a bit of a mess, a pile of laundry you have to put away, because, you do like laundry on Monday and you fold it like on Thursday, right? I'm not the only one that does that, am I? So I hope I'm not. I know I'm not. Anyway, whatever it is that you do, that you look around your house right now, you've got a bit of a mess there, and you think to yourself, no, I'm too tired to do that. I'm so tired to put away the laundry right now. Think of how your body felt right now when you heard those words, right?
As soon as you said it to
You're
yourself.
Focused. As soon as you said it, right? As soon as you heard me say it and you put yourself in those shoes, you're like, yeah, I am too tired. Now, if instead you look at that same mess and you say, I'm so excited to see this bedroom clean and uncluttered. or I'm so excited to see the kitchen spotless. You feel that difference, right?
Absolutely.
So it's where you put your focus. It's where you aim your brain that you're going to be able to change how you experience your life. So instead of focusing only on the goals that you need to achieve, which if you're only focused on what you don't have, you're going to be living in a state of lack, right? In a state of something is missing. There's going to be a void there all the time because your focus is on what you don't have, right? If instead of doing that, you focus on what you do have, you focus on the greatness, you change your mindset, you change the way that you're viewing the reality in which you're existing, you change the reality itself, right? So where your attention is what you're in the receiving of. Okay, so if your attention is in your health, that's what you're going to receive. If your attention is in the abundance that you already have in your life, right? A roof over your head, people around you that adore you, right? The growth of your person and anything else that you have in your life right now that you feel is positive, that you feel enhances your existence and your experience in this body this time around, be grateful for that. Focus your attention on that, and that is what you receive more of, right? So if you have that scarcity mindset of, oh man, I didn't get a raise, or oh man, I couldn't buy that thing, or oh man, I don't have that big house. Your mind, your attention is on that scarcity. That's what you're going to receive more of. If your mind is focused on the greatness of your life, on the things that you are receiving, on all that is good that is already coming to you, that is where your attention is. That mindset of abundance is what you will be in the receiving of. And these are all really powerful tips to be able to stay living in gratitude, to be able to execute secret number 2. And then now we'll go into secret number 3. And this one really hits me real hard in my heart because this is what got me in a hospital in the first place, is that hustler mindset, right? That hustler mindset of I got to do, I got to accomplish, I got to do all the things. I'm the boss, the secretary, I am everything in my business, right? I'm the salesperson, the website designer, I'm doing all the things. I am the mom, the wife, the savior, the best friend, all the things. You're hustling your way through life, right? But that mindset is in fact what is holding you back from your happiness. It's what's holding you back from everything that you seek, right? The foundation of your professional success, not your marketing plan, it's not your education, it's not, the things that you desire, it's not the next big goal, it's none of that, all right? It's having a CEO mindset. It's getting out of that hustler, do, and stepping into that CEO mindset, right? And this applies to entrepreneurs the same way that it applies to a woman who's at home, who's just handling her home, right? It applies to how you run your family. It applies to how you run your personal life. It applies to how you run your friendships, right? You can't hustle through your home. You got to be the boss of that house. You got to have that CEO mindset in that house to make it run smoothly. You do not hustle your way through your house, right? And so how can we do that? Especially in business, this is really powerful, which is my main focus in coaching, and that is the mindset of be, do, have, right? And so in this practice, and this is a very well-known practice, we tend to do this backwards, okay? We tend to say, I'm going to wait until I have the money or have the time or have the support to do the thing that I want to do, to launch the business, to write the book, so I can be successful and be happy with the life that I want to have. Think of that order one more time. I'm going to wait until I have the time, the money, the support, the preparation, whatever your excuse is, so that I can do the thing I want to do, so that I can be the person that I want to be, so that I can be happy, so that I can be successful, so that I can be an entrepreneur, so that I can be the best mom that I can be, so that I can be the best boss that I can be. And that's backwards. The CEO mindset is the complete opposite. You need to be first. You need to show up today like the person that already has what you want to have, right? So if that person is a person who runs their day like a boss, who knows how to use the word no as a complete sentence, who knows how to create boundaries, right? You don't need to wait to have anything to be that person today. When you embody the person, when you embody the state of being, then you're going to take the necessary action, and then you're going to have anything that you want, absolutely anything that you want. Because if you're waiting to have, to then do, you're in a constant state of waiting, because the timing is never going to be perfect. The circumstances are never going to be perfect. You're never going to have enough time, enough money, enough support, or enough people. You're never going to have enough anything, right? Nothing is ever going to be perfect. So that then you can do. No, you show up today like that person, so that you finally take the actions that you need to take, so that you can have the whole world if that's what you want, so that you can have whatever it is that is in your heart, that seed of desire for greatness and a next level experience of this life. You can have that. You need to show up today like the person who has that, so that you can take the action that's going to get you there. So until your mindset is aligned with these 3 secrets of success, you'll always be on that treadmill, right? On that, well, I got to do, and I got to wait until I have this, and meanwhile I'm doing all this busy work, and then when I have enough time, then I'm going to do the thing, and then you're always going to be caught up in that, right? Always going to be caught up in that, man, I wish I had more of this, or man, I wish I had more time, right? Or man, I wish I could do more. And you're just checking to do on your list and not getting anything actually done. And so this is where the 3R system comes in, because it teaches you the how. It teaches you exactly how to implement in the best way, the quickest way to unlock your highest potential, to reach your biggest goals, to feel more accomplished and satisfied with your life, and with less stress and less burnout, okay? And that is what I call, this is my proprietary methodology called the 3R system. And the way you do that is you reevaluate, right? What is serving you in your life right now? Evaluate what's around you, what's going to catapult you to the next goal. What's working, what's not working, right? After you do that reevaluation, you're going to go on to R number 2, and that is restructure. And that's where I teach you the skills to learn how to enjoy the path to your big goal, instead of just the burnout of having to get there. It's where you're going to rebuild and restructure every part of your life, from your business to your personal to your relationships, not just with other people, but your relationship with yourself, in a way that you're going to learn to love the path that you're on every day. Instead of just looking that distance over there at that thing that you want to accomplish, you're going to learn to love every step that you're taking in every moment while you get there. And once you have reevaluated, learned the skills that I teach you to restructure, then you have a good restart, right? To start to implement these tools into creating a life of joy and fulfillment, and where your steps are bigger because they're not cluttered, where your leaps are longer toward that big goal because they're not weighed down by scarcity mindset or by limiting beliefs. And so the best way is, as you implement this 3R system, is if you can do this on your own. Anybody can reevaluate, restructure, and restart, right? But it's in having the support of somebody to give you the tools that you're going to get there faster, right? And so what I want to do is, for everyone that's watching today, if you feel like you're ready to take back control of your life, if you feel like you're ready to declutter your mind, if you feel like you're ready to let go of the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back, if you're ready to get off of that hustle bus, if you're ready to step into the CEO that is within all of us, whether that is for your personal life, you could be the CEO of that. If it's the CEO of your business, I have a gift for everyone who's watching this today. You can have a 30-minute exploratory call for free with me. And the easiest way to do that is you're going to grab your phone right now, open your Instagram, search Gigi Diaz Live. You're going to hit follow. And in my link in bio, there's a link right there that says 30-minute exploratory call. Pick your date, and we're ready to start. That's all.
That was wonderful. And we let me put this spotlight back on you a little bit. Give me 1 second here. We you got the 3R system.
Yeah.
The Reboot Wellness Cruise is all about reset, relax, restore. So we obviously were supposed to get together and get this message across to the people. I feel like I definitely learned a lot in these last 20 minutes. No questions right now, but you did get a comment saying you are speaking the truth. So I guess that goes for everybody. They feel the same way. Lauren, do you have any questions? Let me get you off mute. Lauren, do you have any questions for Gigi? Actually, you got to unmute yourself. Sorry about that.
Oh, and
There you
thank
go.
you. Gigi. Yeah, that was wonderful. I love it. I love you getting your water there. I'm about to have my little water break in a moment.
That's a big.
Yes.
I wanted
I take like 4 of these a day.
goodness, yes, you have so much energy, and that's wonderful. It's a testament to what you're doing. If you could maybe share with us, what is one thing that you kind of learned through implementing this process that surprised you? That really kind of made you think, wow, yeah, like I thought this was wonderful, but it's even more amazing now that I see this other thing. What was just something on your journey that was unexpected?
I'll tell you, and it's the first thing that came to my mind as you were asking the question, and that is meditation. I always saw meditation as the most impossible thing, right? Because you just said it right now. You're like, oh, you have so much energy. If that's what it looks like on the screen, you have no idea what it feels like in here, right? Like, so I've always been like, woo, all day. I'm like this. So anybody that would ever tell me like, oh yeah, because meditation's great. I'm like, I cannot sit still for 3 hours. Like, that's not my jam. Like, I can't do that. And so I tried different apps, right? Because there's a misconception about what meditation is and how it works. And so I was like, yeah, I can't sit for 30 minutes and be still. I can't quiet my mind. I can't do any of that. I think the first actual app that I was intentionally meditated, I want to say it was like a minute. And in that minute, 1 minute of just focusing on my breath, I was like, wait, something seriously happened here. Like, what was that? What was that feeling? I slowly grew to 5 minutes, to 10 minutes. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I can sit for 3 hours to meditate, because I absolutely cannot. But what I've loved about it is that it teaches me not to quiet my thoughts, but to understand what my thoughts are. And that to me is really powerful, because when you're sitting in silence with your breath and you can hear the busyness, what's going on in there all day long, what ends up happening is you realize what is rotating endlessly in your head, and you realize, well, this is a concern. And then you can sit with that and say, is that a real worry though? Like, is that a real thing? Is that even a real problem? It's not. So I'm going to toss that out of my brain. Or why is that nagging on me? And then what actions can I take so that stops nagging me? What can I do? And so it helps you to truly understand what's going on within, so that you can be a better person without, right? Or on the outside. And so it totally surprised me, because I always believed, I was like, there's no way I can meditate. Nobody got time for that. I got too many things to do. But even, 3 to 5 minutes makes all the difference. And that really, really blew my mind. And so now I make it a point to meditate. I meditate more than once a day. I do very short meditations, and the second and third ones are very short, like 2, 3, 5 minutes. My morning meditation is always at least 15 minutes long. So it has completely changed my life and the way I understand myself.
It took me 5 years to be able to meditate for 15 minutes. I mean, again, I would try and then, try it for 3 weeks in a row and, get off the train. But totally, you don't have to go very long. If people just concentrate, we just did something for breath work. Concentrate for 3 minutes, like you said. Concentrate, try for a minute. Try for 2 minutes every single morning before you start your day. There's so many different techniques. It's all about who you are and what works for you. And then you'll get to the point where you're just feeling like you're just pure consciousness.
Absolutely. Even just it's scientifically proven that just 60 seconds of deep breathing can make a difference in your mood, can lower your stress. So imagine if you could carry on to 4 minutes, if you could carry on to 5 minutes. And there are so many apps that are free that'll help you through with a guided meditation that'll just help you to focus on your breathing. There's a ton of videos on YouTube and stuff like that that are so powerful. And that can, it really, for me, really, really was a life changer for sure.
I find that too, and of course I teach meditation, so that was an A+ answer for me. What I often joke that like I'm this nutritional therapist who is only and part of what I focus on is the nutrition. And in fact, before I do really any changes with people in their diet or what they're eating and drinking, I begin with mindfulness practice. That's the first couple of weeks of us working together. We don't really think anything about what they eat. And a lot of people are like, what? Why do we do that? They're expecting to get like a diet plan, right? That's overwhelming. But I find that exactly like what you're saying, that personal changes happen so much more easily. There's so much less resistance when you're checking in with yourself. And I love what you said, just take that moment and ask what I need. That's actually a practice that I teach people I work with as well, because the answers sometimes can be so simple, but they can be transformative over time. So thank you. This was wonderful, wonderful to have you.
It was so good to be able to be here with you guys today. Thank you so much for having me. I am so honored to be able to share with your community and to be able to chit chat with you and to see you guys and to spend some time with you, even if it's just virtually.
Perfect. Oh, well, and everyone can see where they can find you at ggdiaz.com. And then also, we already know it's at GG Live.
At Gigi Diaz Live on all social media platforms.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Gigi. This has been a pleasure. And Tony, we've had such a great time today, haven't we?
Bye, guys.
Oh, Tony, his sound is off.
We're going to take ourselves out pretending like we're on a boat once again. Can you hear me now? You got me?
Yes.
Let's do it.